workers and families face the biggest cost of living crisis in a generation. For the most vulnerable, it has been especially a difficult time, forced to make decisions that no family should be forced to make, between heating their homes or putting food on the table. But for many, this crisis is nothing new. Ribbon gear came shaw, vi Charlie in that jail cutting the price is urges in Europe, o costas I funniv, go kurim yani, go price in the kisna. And the current cost of living crisis has been made worse by this government's failure in structural areas of our economy and of our public services. From the ever-rising and unsustainable rents faced by renters to unaffordable house prices faced by those who are trying to own their own home, to energy prices that remain among the highest in Europe and a two-tier system in health that remains inaccessible for many. So what did Sean Neary leis an rialtas doling leclis na faibana, Shaw agus na bruana at a loihra the childly fod an stage. Occurred you for several months, Sinn Féin have raised the challenges faced by struggling mortgage holders. Those households who have seen their mortgage costs soar over the last year, many of them by thousands of euro. We have put forward a plan that would support them, and despite opposing our plan month after month after month, the government finally performed a U-turn in the recent budget. But it has become their habit, as we've seen time and time again. They have taken another Sinn Féin policy and made a dog's dinner of it. The government's botched mortgage interest relief scheme have excluded more than 170,000 mortgage holders who have seen their mortgage costs rise, some of them in thousands of euro. And this decision needs to be reversed, and it needs to be reversed now. Under the government's plan, we will not see any reduction in childcare fees till at least the end of the year. Renters will only see a tax credit increase of €250, and without a ban on rent increases, we know that this credit will end up into the pockets of landlords who continue to hike up rents. And if you want to see where this government's priorities are, then just look at the budget. It is a budget that put more in terms of tax cuts for landlords than support for struggling renters. It is shame on Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael on the Green Party that proposed that. Shamefully, this government would have no issue in taxing a nurse or a teacher more than a landlord, because we know which side they are on. They have always been on the side of the landlords, and we know which side we've been on, and that is on the ordinary worker and family across this state. For the most vulnerable in society, this government has ensured that their social welfare rates have fallen below the rate of inflation, a drop in living standards for those who have borne the brunt of this crisis. And we witnessed the inexcusable decision to underfund our health service, throwing a service that is already struggling into further jeopardy. And Sinn Féin would chart a different path. Is mud Sinne and party have been great Ibrani agus Charlie Brehardu, on Faimnu or a son agus on Taku law. A Sinn Féin government would protect the most vulnerable, building a strong social safety net that tackles poverty and secured standards of living that provides dignity and security. It is why a Sinn Féin government would support renters by reducing rents and freezing them, putting 1 month's rent up to €2,000 back into their pockets. We have a plan for the health service of affordability and cost reduction at its heart, by abolishing prescription charges, expanding medical card cover, and by reducing the price of drugs for those who rely on them. And for parents, many of them who are facing a second mortgage in the area of childcare, we would cut childcare fees more than half. That is our commitment to you. And if people say that change is not possible, then they are wrong. Just look at what Sinn Féin are offering. Look at our alternative budget. A change is possible. It is now time for us to take that message to every highway and byway across the state, to continue to win the hearts and minds of the Irish people, and to elect a Sinn Féin government to deliver that change, led by An Taoiseach Mary Lou McDonald. Gur maith agam.